Hello. I figured I should probably put my start recording more about my past issues, so I can get on to the current issues. Um, I would like to tell a short version of the story of our secondary infertility that we experienced when we tried to get pregnant with our third child. Um, my first daughter was born when I was 18, and she was obviously a surprise. That was a previous relationship. And I didn't want any more kids for a really long time. And then that relationship failed as well. So when I got together with my husband, we didn't talk about kids because we were both young and we were just dating. And we both knew that we wanted some, but not for a long time. So when I was 27, I believe, I went and switched my birth control because I was on Yaz and I had been hearing really bad things, and I was also paying $75 a month, which is way too much for a birth control pill. So I switched. I went to Planned Parenthood and I got a pill that was $20 a month, and they told me that it was okay to just, when you're finished with the Yaz, just go right on to the new pills and it would be the same. And that was in December. And I had some weird bleeding between December and January, and I ended up pregnant with my second daughter in January. So I don't know what happened there. That was also a surprise. We welcomed it, of course, but unplanned. So I assumed that when we wanted to get pregnant again, it would be easy because I had been pregnant twice and it had not been hard. I had never even tried to get pregnant. So, let's see, we got married when our youngest daughter was 2, and I begged him to start trying. That was 2012. I begged my husband, and he said, financially we should wait, and let's wait till, we didn't have good health insurance and whatever. So, 2 years later, two years, so it was October 2014. He said, okay, we can start trying. So we started trying in October 2014, and nothing, happened the first month, and then nothing happened the second month, and then it went on and on and on. And in the meantime, I found out that I had another dermoid cyst on my remaining ovary. So, but that didn't really affect anything. I mean, I always had the same 28, 29 day cycle with, 14 or 15 day, in the middle, like ovulation, and everything seemed fine. And the doctor didn't seem that concerned as it wasn't very large. So, let's see what happened. I think it had been almost a year. It was September 2015. My husband went and had a semen analysis, and his numbers were fine. His morphology was a little bit low. It was 6%, but that's the Kruger scale, so it's stricter. They weren't concerned. They said that anything above 4 is fine. So, we figured, okay, then we can get on with testing for me. So I had all the blood work, cycle day 3 blood work. Oh God, I can't even remember. But all, at the end of that year of 2015, we'd been trying for a year, and nothing was wrong with either of us according to our tests. So let's see, we're very, very hard to understand, because I'm just I don't understand. I'm having, regular periods. We're doing everything like we're supposed to do. I was temping, so I knew exactly what was going on, and everything was fine. So we just, we went to a fertility specialist in January of 2016, and I had the HSG test where they push the dye through your tubes, and I only have one ovary, like I've said, so the one side didn't really matter, and they said that the left side was blocked with scar tissue, but I don't have an ovary there anyway. So the other one, they said, went very slowly. The dye went very slow and kind of pooled at the end, and they said that a lot of times when they see that, that's gunk or mucus or whatever getting pushed out of the tube. So they said, oh, that might be a good thing for you. So and the procedure itself did not hurt to me. I know other women say it hurts, and I'm sure it does. Maybe it's because I've given birth before. I've heard that makes it easier. There was just a little bit of a pinch when they inflated the balloon. Other than that, I didn't even feel the dye or anything. So anyway, so when I talked to the fertility specialist about the results, he said that he didn't think that it was he thought that it was a problem. He thought there was scar tissue around the end of my tube, and that's why it pooled. So he didn't agree with the other people. And so we didn't really know what to do, because I had already had a laparoscopy, and they said there was no scarring around it. So then when he heard that I'd had a laparoscopy, then he said, well, I don't know, whatever. So I had a saline ultrasound the next month, which was just to look inside your uterus. And I had maybe a small polyp or something, and it wasn't an issue either, because they said unless they're bigger than that, and they weren't even sure if it was a polyp. Anyway, so I had a little disagreement with my fertility specialist. He wasn't very nice to me in April. And we were trying to figure out where to go from there, because I mean, nothing's wrong with either of us, and whatever. It's just very frustrating. So I left the office in April feeling, or maybe it was March, I think it was the end of March, feeling horrible, not knowing what to do, because I didn't feel like I could go back to him. And the next nearest fertility specialist is 45 minutes away or an hour. And so anyway, we went on vacation. We were going to Florida for spring break. And I took my little WANFO pregnancy tests with me, because I was a testing addict. That's all I did back then, starting at 7 DPO. So we got to Florida, relaxed. So it was so nice. And then at 9 DPO, I tested at night, and I saw what I thought was a little line, and I'm like, well, it can't be, first of all, because it's, we've been trying forever. And then I looked like, it really looks like a little line. So but I've had evaporation lines in the past, and bad tests that made me think that I was pregnant when I wasn't. So I kind of ignored it, but I took one the next morning at 10 DPO, and it was darker, and it was very obvious. And I showed, and so we were pregnant on our own. But I really think the HSG test was what got us there. I think it cleared something out. And that was, good. The rest of the test just got darker and darker, and we came home, and we were, really excited to finally be pregnant. And I think I'm going to stop here, because that's a whole different story. That's the pregnancy that we lost at 22 weeks. And I want to get into that in a different, but that's the story of how we got to be pregnant anyway. So, all right, I am going to go now. I will make another video later.